special. It's what makes you a witch. I'm not like you.
You're right. You're so much like your mother.
The MCU series reached an epic and poignant finish with Agatha All Along episodes 8 and 9, which addressed a number of questions while posing new ones for the franchise's future. Only Agatha, Jen, and Billy remain from the original coven that set out to walk the witch's road following the conclusion of Agatha All Along episode 7. Furthermore, Rio Vidal, the MCU's Lady Death, was revealed, providing a significant wild card to the events of the 2-episode finale of Agatha All Along. Death hung over the last 3 characters as they set off on the witch's road's ultimate trial, with Agatha All Along's ensemble smaller than before. Agatha All Along episode 9 addressed each of these aspects while laying intriguing foundations for a potential MCU tale continuation. Billy is told by the title witch in Agatha All Along episode 6 that she knew he was Wanda's son since both magic users shared the same tell. This inconsequential remark reappeared in Agatha All Along episode 9 to explain what may have been the show's most significant revelation: Billy invented the witch's road. Billy used his own powers to physically construct the witch's road using objects strewn across his boyhood bedroom, much like Wanda used her magical power to create the hex and ensnare Westview in her fantasy world. It is reasonable to assume that Wanda's son had the same chaos magic that gave her the power to change reality as she pleased. Billy's ability to write the witch's road can be explained by this. Billy already had all he needed to find Tommy, but he needed a physical representation of it in order to carry it out. So, using his chaos magic abilities, he created the witch's road, a physical set of obstacles that he and the other witches of Agatha All Along had to pass. The witch's road, what is it? This, of course, begs the question, just what is the witch's road? Many will question whether it transpired inside the Coven's thoughts or if Billy created an other dimension. Having said that, Agatha All Along episode 9 points out that everything that transpired in the show took place, indicating that the witch's road was based on a real place, much like Wanda's hex was with Westview. Therefore, the witch's road is most likely to have been a sizable area of land beneath Westview that was unconsciously shaped to match what Billy wanted to find Tommy. This reality is supported by 2 different scenes in Agatha All Along. For one, Lilia and Jen see the abandoned subway station of Westview when beneath the road in Agatha All Along episode 7. Secondly, after regaining her powers, Jen is shown physically clawing herself out of the ground just outside of Westview. Therefore, it can be assumed that Billy excavated the witch's road beneath Westview subconsciously, meaning it was a physical location enabled by his power over chaos magic. With the knowledge that the witch's road physically existed, another question stemming from Agatha All Along episode 9's ending is whether it still does. However, the ending of the episode confirmed that it no longer does. Billy uses his powers to collapse the witch's road, closing the entrance and turning it into a grave for Lilia, Sharon Davis, and Alice. Another of the biggest reveals in Agatha All Along episode 8's ending was that Agatha died. After initially promising to turn Billy over to Rio, who thought his reincarnation went against the natural order of death, Agatha instead chose to sacrifice herself. At first, Agatha was willing to let Billy go with Rio until the former reminded her of Marvel's Nicholas Scratch, her son. Agatha then turned and walked towards Rio, kissing her. Physically enacting the old adage of the kiss of death, Rio took the one she desired in the end, leaving Billy alive. However, this death did not mean the end of Agatha in the MCU. Agatha All Along episode 9 revealed that Agatha returned as a ghost, just as she did at one point in Marvel Comics. The show does not explain exactly how this happens, yet the source material often states that ghosts are formed by beings who still have work to do on Earth. In Agatha All Along's case, the titular witch wanted to retrieve the locket containing the hair of Nicholas Scratch, leading her to Billy as a ghost. In Agatha All Along episode 8, the final trial of the witch's road takes place. During this trial, Agatha vows to help Billy find Tommy. After receiving a hint from Rio earlier in the episode, Agatha realizes that Tommy did not reincarnate alongside Billy and that the former's soul is trapped inside the latter. Agatha coaches Billy through the steps necessary to help Tommy reincarnate as his brother did. This sequence provides many hints about Tommy's MCU origins and future, a future that will inevitably lead to a recast of the character after WandaVision's ending as Agatha all along provided Billy. Billy sees a boy being pranked by a group of teenagers. The teenagers drown the boy, who Billy states grew up in a place without love with no one to care for him. As Billy asks if he is actively killing this boy so that Tommy can be reborn, he disappears from the Witch's Road, meaning Billy got his wish and Tommy was reborn as this boy after he drowned in the pool. Where this boy, now Tommy, turns up again in the MCU remains to be seen, but what subsequently happens to Billy and Agatha hints at this. After Billy closes the Witch's Road and Agatha retrieves her locket as a ghost, the two are unsure of what happens next. Billy states that he could use some help learning about his powers before Agatha states she tends to kill those in her coven. Billy tearfully admits that he is the same after his Witch's Road creation led to the deaths of Sharon, Alice, and Lilia. Billy then creates an exit from the basement, prompting Agatha to say, "Let's go find Tommy." Agatha all along has no post-credits scene, but that promise largely renders the need for one redundant. This suggests Tommy Maximoff in his new body, as well as Billy and Agatha, will return in the future of the MCU. This plotline is not realistically possible for any announced planned MCU films or television series, although some hypothetical ventures might. One is the alleged Young Avengers project, which is significant because Tommy and Billy are major characters in Marvel Comics. It's possible that Billy and Agatha saved Tommy at the beginning of Young Avengers, but it's unclear when the movie will be shot and published. One of the main questions that fans of Wanda Maximoff had about the conclusion of Agatha all along Episode 9 is why she wasn't on the show. Many thought that because of the Witch's Road and the strong bonds between Agatha, Billy, and Wanda, the latter would make a comeback to the MCU in some form in Agatha all along. When it was all over, Billy's attention was on Tommy. Since Billy merely wants to find his brother and doesn't care for Wanda, her return would not have matched the story's thematic thread. This explains why Wanda didn't come back. The conclusion of Agatha all along Episode 9 features Jennifer Kale squeezing her way out of the Witch's Road, as hinted previously. This occurred after she was able to restore her authority by breaking the bond that Agatha had put on her. Then, above Westview, Jennifer takes off, leaving her future in the MCU uncertain. But, considering what transpired during Lilia's trial, it is almost certain that Jen will make another appearance. Jen was referred to as the High Priestess in an Easter egg in Agatha all along Episode 7. Now, Agatha and Billy have an ally in the presumably strong Jennifer Kale in case they need a witch's assistance when they return. Agatha all along confirms 11 fatalities in the MCU, which is appropriate for a show that featured death personified as a major nemesis. In Agatha all along, numerous characters died on both the good and evil sides. For the MCU, which has often been criticized for undoing deaths rather than keeping them permanent, this is a bit of a change of pace that in Agatha all along, Sharon, Alice, Lilia, and Nicholas Scratch perished along with all 7 of the MCU's Salem 7 antagonists, making the show's death toll at 11 rather high. The death toll rises to 12 if Agatha is included. The conclusion of Agatha all along, however, is one that suggests the titular witch will continue in the MCU's future because Agatha is not officially dead due to her resurrection as a ghost. That concludes our review for today, but the discussion is far from over. For more, leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more videos. Keep the magic of movies alive until the next time, signing off from FK BYTES.